Hi, everyone, and welcome to The Balancing Act. I'm Olga Villaverdi.
And I'm Montel Williams.
Today, how to protect yourself with a non-lethal taser. Don't mess with me.
You are not tasing me.
As long as you don't mess with me.
All right, I won't, okay. And healthy, meaty options for the entire family, because Ralphie's in the kitchen, Ralphie!
I got healthy and hearty ideas to kick off the new year. Let's get ready to roast.
I love having him here. Plus, living with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, also known as COPD, of course, a new way to breathe easier.
And you can breathe easier right now.
Because I'm not going to tase him.
It all starts right now.
Random or deliberate acts of violence unfortunately remain part of our everyday lives. Taking steps to protect ourselves and our peace of mind should be a top priority. Today, we're learning more from the experts at Axon. Rob Chadwick, Principal Training Advisor, TASER Self-Defense, and Christy Summer, Training Manager for TASER Self-Defense. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So I think this is really an important conversation, Rob. First, I want to talk about your background. You have a pretty strong background. FBI?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, lots of covert action stuff?
Well, when I retired from the FBI just this past year, I was the chief of the tactical training unit at Quantico.
Oh, wow.
So my job was to make sure that our agents worldwide were ready for just about anything the job threw at them.
Which is so important.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about the importance of situational safety.
Unfortunately, the security environment in the United States has changed
Dramatically.
Dramatically, yes, ma'am. So at the same time, we're seeing a significant increase in violent crime rates around the country. We're also seeing an average doubling of the time it takes law enforcement to get to you. And in many cases, in many areas, it's even more significant than that. So people are going to be on their own for a lot longer than they used to be. And so it's really important for them to come up with their own personal security plan.
Take charge, if you will.
That's right.
How does that translate into then us being prepared?
Developing a personal security plan before you're involved in any type of critical situation is really important. You're just not going to come up with a really sound fundamental plan when your life is at stake. So you have to think about it ahead of time. Clearly, situational awareness and avoidance, if at all possible, are always the key. But if you're just unable to avoid a confrontation, you know, a viable personal protection device is really critical.
So, Christy, let me bring you in. You know, as a woman, I'll be honest, I've thought about getting a weapon, a gun, but I have fear and the repercussions involved. So, Christy, tell me how it works. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So our strike light here is a stun device, so it's a contact only, typically used for pain compliance or an audible visual deterrent. So it's not actually going to deploy any cartridges. And yeah, go ahead. You can arm the device with the safety right there.
Okay.
And then you'll press the arc button on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Yep, so it is that loud, get back, right? It's going to deter someone from wanting to come
This
closer.
is actually great when I go running at night and I see maybe an animal and I don't know what it is.
Yep,
I care
absolutely.
when I walk my dog, I've scared off coyotes with it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
So it does no harm, it just kind of says, get away.
Correct.
Ooh,
absolutely.
I like that.
And then our TASER devices, so the one here in the middle is our Bolt 2, which is our newest TASER device. Our TASER devices will deploy a cartridge with 2 probes, which has the ability to incapacitate an attacker with neuromuscular incapacitation. And essentially what that is a disruption from the brain to muscle communication, creating that muscle lockup, if you will. And our TASER devices are 30-second cycles, as opposed to our law enforcement devices, which are 5 seconds. So 30 seconds is a great opportunity, a great window to get away. Exactly.
So for 30 seconds, if somebody is just going to do something to you, you are going to incapacitate them and you've got 30 seconds to get away.
Absolutely. And we always say, place the device on the ground, go find safety. The beauty about the Bolt 2 here is it's linked to your smartphone through an Axon Protect app. So when it is deployed out in a self-defense situation, it's going to contact emergency services for you and come to the GPS location of your cell phone.
So there are various benefits with this.
Absolutely. It's so important for people to come up with their own personal security plan ahead of time, because the fact of the matter is, when your life's in danger, you're not going to come up with a great plan. So it's important to have the facts right ahead of time. And I talk to people about that all the time. Anyone who's been involved in a shooting, it's life-altering for both sides. I was super pleased to come up with what I feel is a very viable personal protection option that just doesn't come with the ultimate consequences like a firearm does.
Any myths that people think about that we can demystify right now?
Yeah, a lot of people think we're electrocuting people with a taser. That's simply not the case. It is really that neuromuscular incapacitation, that disruption of the brain to muscle communication there.
Okay, I'm really loving these. I'd love to see something in action.
Yeah, we can do a live demonstration with our TASER 7 CQ.
Oh my gosh, let's do it.
Perfect.
I'm not going to be the victim. All right, Christy, we're all set. We've got protective glasses. You've got the taser. Ricky, you are a fabulous volunteer. Take it away.
Spotters, are you in position?
Ready.
Volunteer, are you ready?
Right, ready.
Taser, taser. Lay him down, lay him down, lay him down, lay him down. Almost there. Done. Good work.
Christy, he could not even move.
Yeah, so you could see we talked about neuromuscular incapacitation earlier. So that's where you saw those muscles lock up. So he was incapacitated there. He was unable to move.
Tell me what you're feeling, Ricky.
Yeah, your whole body just locks up and you can't do anything. So it does what it's intended to do.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the main thing is just the back cuff and calf muscles right here. So they lock up.
You couldn't move.
Right, could not move at all. And so you get the little Charlie horses all over your body.
Charlie horse he's talking about, it's the 19 or 22 pulses per second for the TASER 7, so it's actually asking those muscles to contract 22 times per second, which is that lockup.
And if he's a bad guy, that's what you want to happen.
Exactly, exactly. He's not going anywhere.
Okay, Rob. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm convinced.
Right. Clearly effective, very effective, and almost anybody can use it. Much more effective maybe than pepper spray or a baton or something like that.
I mean, this is something that I would consider for my girls who are in college and even for me when I go running. I mean, this works.
Absolutely, it works. There's no movement and you're incapacitated.
Fantastic.
And you can't attack the person.
Thank you so much for volunteering.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think he deserves an award.
Yes, because you're such a good sport, we do have a coin for
right.
you. Thank you so much. You did awesome.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you so much for doing it and showing us what it's all about.
Right.
For our viewers who'd like more information, where can they go?
Yep, they can go to our website, taser.com. All of our resources as well as contact information for us is on there.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service, Rob. Appreciate it. And if you'd like more information, go to our website, thebalancingact.com. The new year is upon us. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And it's time to make healthy eats for the entire family.
And that's why today we are serving up a lean chuck eye roast with marrow bones to make an absolutely gorgeous bone broth.
And of course, we're using cuts from our friends at Swift Meats, and you know that I'm a carnivore.
I know you like it, baby, and that's right. Swift beef has been a family favorite for years, and this beef is packed with 10 essential nutrients, including iron, vitamins like B6, B12, and protein, baby.
I love that. So it's not only yummy, it's
Good for you.
love it.
Right?
And affordable.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I'm taking this chuck eye roast,
Look at
right?
this.
Right, it's lean. It's an inexpensive cut when it comes to the whole pieces, and it really takes on flavor so great. So here's what we're gonna do. This is a great recipe.
Okay.
I've got some Italian seasonings right here. You mix that up for me, right? So it's garlic, salt, thyme, oregano, pepper. Gonna mix it all over and rub it all over that meat. Put it on there. That's it. That's it.
The more the merrier.
You know it, right? Pack it
Right.
with flavor. Right?
Hold on, wait, good luck.
Over your shoulder, company's coming. Dutch oven right here. Dutch oven is awesome to cook this piece of meat, right? Set the oven at 400 degrees. Open up the Dutch oven. Put a little bit of vegetable oil inside of it.
Boy, this is really easy.
Pop, this is so easy because the Dutch oven and the oven and the meat take care of everything for you. Take it, put it in the oven about 12 minutes or so. Get a nice brown on all the sides. Put the roof on it, put the top on it. Set the oven down 350 degrees, about an hour.
Okay.
That's all it takes.
That's
you
it.
throw some potatoes in it. You throw a little piece of thyme in there, some garlic in it. It is an absolutely amazing thing. Make sure you put it in the upper third of your oven, right? And when you take it out, you want to do an instant read thermometers. You have one of those?
Yeah, I do.
130 degrees. It's perfect. Then let it rest. When the meat rests on the cutting board, what happens is all the juice goes back to where it belongs. And then when you slice it, you get that beautiful color. You get the juiciness. It's great. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Okay, speaking of amazing, and if you look over there, I've been reading about these beef marrow bones and broth.
The beef marrow bone is the chef's secret weapon forever. Why? Ask me why.
Why?
Why? Because inside this marrow bone, it's packed with flavor, it's packed with collagen, it's packed with richness, it's packed with a velvety smoothness that makes everything taste great. All your stocks, your stocks, your soups, your sauces, base comes from marrow bone. So here's what you do.
So you have vitamins in there, amino acids, and essential fatty acids.
Everything that's good for you.
Everything that is good for you.
Right, so you put this in the oven, you roast the bones, right? You get coax a little bit of flavor out of the bones, put it into the crock pot, add to it the aromatics, right? So what's that? Garlic, onion, celery, carrots. Fennel is really nice. Whenever I use fennel, just a little secret, I always use a little star anise as well, a little bit of that licorice flavor. Peppercorns, bay leaf, into the crock pot it goes. Cover with water. 36 hours later. Now, it seems like a long time, but right now it's the holidays, right? It's January. You get that smell of the olfactory sensation.
So you've made this broth by roasting them in the oven.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, roast in the oven, and then into the crock pot you go, right? And then you serve it up, right? So you take it out of the oven, like we said, you slice it up. I've got some glazed carrots going on over there. The gravy goes over the top. And most importantly, whatever you don't finish right now, tomorrow, you make a French dip sandwich, you slice this with the crusty garlic bread and dip it inside that gravy. Change your life.
I did not know how much of a difference this can make.
This is the best thing for you.
I love
It's
it.
the collagen, remember, rejuvenative. Remember the key word, rejuvenative.
And we have to remember Swift Meats. For our viewers who'd like more information, where can they go?
You can go to swiftmeats.com for more cooking tips, meal inspiration, and to find all about Swift Meats.
And for anyone else that would like to go to our website, where do they go?
You go to balancingact.com, baby.
All right, so let's grab a fork and let's cut this with a knife. For the 30 million adults in the United States living with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, day-to-day activities can be a big struggle.
Yeah, and we'll be hearing from Dr. Raj Dasgupta on how patients can manage their disease.
But first, let's meet Chuck, once an avid golfer who is able to pick up his clubs again thanks to full cycle breathing technology. That's great news. Take a look.
I grew up in South Florida, retired from the banking business, moved up to Claremont here with the idea to play golf every day. We have friends here that we barbecue, go out to dinner with, things like that. Always had asthma as long as I can remember. I was in and out of the hospital a lot as a child, and it got worse towards about 50 years old. They diagnosed me with COPD. Then I went into emphysema, and my quality of life deteriorated quite a bit.
When we talk about here in the United States, almost 150,000 people have died and suffered from COPD. It is a chronic respiratory disorder. It's about severe airflow limitations, meaning they can't get air in, and when we talk about obstructive lung disease, they really can't even get the air out. They could have fatigue, they could have weight loss, cough, mucus production, shortness of breath, and of course, especially if there's an asthma component, wheezing. So depending upon the severity of COPD, it can definitely affect things at home, things at work. It definitely affects your lifestyle. Multiple admissions to the hospital and the emergency department. And needless to say that besides the organs in the body, talking about the heart, talking about the effects on the lung, it can definitely cause depression. It can cause anxiety. It can cause people to be isolated at home. So COPD can take a toll on every aspect of a patient's life.
Well, the COPD was just a word to me until it started affecting my life and as to what I could do. I would run out of air much faster. My condition kept progressing, and I had a lot of infections and flare-ups. Then I started with the various bouts with pneumonia, and that in the hospital.
As his condition continued to progress, a new reality for Chuck set in, using supplemental oxygen 24/7.
I still tried to play golf and did play golf. I cut down the number of days. I played golf for 2 years, and then I went through my final 2 big bouts with infections and pneumonia in the hospital, and I had to quit golfing. Was able to get around a little bit. I mean, we did do some card playing. That's pretty much all we did. A little chess now and then. Well, it's kind of depressing to go immediately into fairly active to not doing anything at all. I needed to do something to get better somehow.
So the key part is, after they get the diagnosis, is to have shared decision making. Make sure I understand what they want to accomplish, what are their limitations. And I feel that after they get this diagnosis, in most cases, they shouldn't have to change their lives. They could still go out and see their friends and see their families. If they want to do simple things like going to the grocery store, this can be done. And especially now that we have many new options to offer different people at different stages of the disease, this is something where people could have a positive attitude going forward carrying this diagnosis. So when we talk about COPD and treatment, one of the most important things to start these patients on is pulmonary rehab. They help you exercise. They help you understand your disease state. They help you understand the breathing techniques, because there is data that patients who are sedentary will have a higher risk of infections, have a higher risk of exacerbations. So encouraging movement is one of the core things I promote in my COPD patients. And for patients who have multiple exacerbations, I'm very happy as a clinician that there are medications to reduce these exacerbations. And unfortunately, many of my patients may need supplemental oxygen.
As COPD progresses, the muscles that support natural ventilation have to work harder.
Full cycle breathing can help patients both breathe in more oxygen and then expel CO2, giving those fatigued muscles a rest.
Thus, less shortness of breath and more energy to remain active.
There's a certain stage where patients can't keep up with their own ventilatory needs. And when this happens, they need assistance. And this can be done in two ways. It can be done invasively, where unfortunately there are individuals in the ICU that have a tube past the vocal cords. We also have non-invasive ventilation through an interface such as a mask, whether it covers the nose or the mouth and nose. And it's amazing when we talk about the non-invasive, there are devices out there that can help patients with COPD be mobile. And that's always going to be a very important part.
Even with oxygen, you're still going to have difficulty breathing. At least I did. So I talked to the doctor. I says, is there anything else I can do? Rid of this tightness in my chest all the time. And they said, well, the best thing for you then is to get you into a breathing machine. I was thinking to myself, oh boy, you know, I've got to wear a breathing machine. And well, it turned out that wasn't it at all. So the Life 2000 came around. Well, the trainer came out right away and hooked me up immediately, showed me how to use it. It's very easy to use, really it is. Glad it doesn't have a mask. The nasal cannulas they give you have a pillow interface, so they're even easier to use than this thing. Makes it very comfortable. With the Life 2000 on, I can walk a lot farther. Play some golf, of course. I'm getting to play more and more holes. So it's really great to know that you've been released from this prison, you know. You're able to actually get out and do something. And if I hook it to the portable tank, we do our walking with that. Really nice to be able to get some exercising in. You know, you get to where you're not exercising and just watching TV all the time. It's bad for you to do that. So increases the quality of my life.
So the Life 2000 is the non-invasive machine that allows a patient to be mobile. And in fact, it's not really a mask. And I think that's gonna be very important because, hey, what's the point of going out if you can't eat and talk and do the things that make you happy? You know, I've been working with Hillrom for a while, and I just feel that they really do care about their patients. One of the things that gives me comfort is that I know that Hillrom will provide some supportive staff, because it can be overwhelming when you have a device. So to know that they spend time with the patient to explain it, this gives me a little reassurance that, hey, if I recommend this device, that my patient will actually know how to understand it and get the maximum benefit from it. And when we talk about a device that's a portable ventilator like the Life 2000, they could walk longer, they could exercise more. And exercise, social interactions really helps out patients with COPD. So any device, such as the Life 2000, that may help patients go do these things, hey, that puts a smile on my face.
Oh my gosh, it was really quite a difference. It was very exciting because he could do so much more. He could last so much longer. You know, with the things that he was doing. We were in a lull for a little while there, and then we got the Life 2000, and that brought us back to what we were doing before. It's really improved our lives a lot. It has.
If you have COPD, speak to your doctor to see if the Life 2000 system is right for you.
And for more information, you can always visit thehillrom.com/life2000, and of course, visit our website, thebalancingact.com. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
Remember to head to our Facebook page, like us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and visit thebalancingact.com to enter our latest sweepstake or giveaway.
And be safe, love that family of yours, and we'll see you next time.